Good day, I'm Uchendu Ekene, a final year law student of Ebonyi State University and a virtual intern at HARLEM Solicitors. Today I'll be talking about revocation, surrender and suspension of license under the telecommunications sector. What is telecommunication? Telecommunication simply means communication over a distance, either using electric signals, electromagnetic waves, telegraphs, telephones, or any other broadcasting means. The telecommunication sector in Nigeria is divided into four categories. One, telecommunication companies or telcos such as MTN, Glo, 9Mobile or Airtel. We equally have infrastructure production companies, also called infracos who are in charge of erecting infrastructure such as base transceiver stations. We have the ISPs, that's the internet service providers, who provide internet access such as smart communications, and lastly PTOs, that's private telecoms operators. It should be noted that no one can carry out telecommunications business without being licensed. What then is a license? License, as defined by thesaurus.com, is a formal permission granted by a governmental or other constituted authority to carry out an act, an occupation, a profession, or anything legal. This means that license confers the right on the person to do an act or carry out an act or activity. Section 31 of the Nigerian Communications Act 2003, hereinafter referred to as the Act, provides that no person shall operate a communication system or provide communication services in Nigeria without being duly authorized by a communications license. This shows the importance of license under the telecommunications sector in Nigeria. For anyone in breach of this particular provision, certain punishments as provided in section 31 sub 2 of the Act are meted out to the person, and they include 1. A fine not exceeding 10 times the amount of the original license, or 2. A fine not less than the amount of the original license, or imprisonment not exceeding 1 year. In certain cases, it could be fine and imprisonment, provided the person forfeits all facilities and equipment used in running the unlicensed business to the Nigerian Communications Commission, hereinafter referred to as the Commission. The Act provides for two types of license: 1. Class license, 2. Individual license. Section 157 of the Act defines class license as a license for all or general persons to carry out an activity, and defines individual license as license for a specified person to carry out a specific activity. When talking about revocation, suspension, and surrender of license, we only refer to individual license. This simply means that it's only an individual license that can be revoked, surrendered, or suspended. Section 44 of the Act provides that before surrendering a license, that's before a licensee can surrender a license, he must give a written notice to the Commission of his intention to surrender the license. Subsection 2 of Section 44 of the Act provides that surrender can only take place when the Commission has been given the original license as well as the written notice referred to in subsection 1 of Section 44. Also, where the licensee expresses that surrender should take place on a later date, then surrender can take place on that date. Section 44 sub 3 of the Act provides that surrendering license or the intention to surrender a license is irrevocable unless the licensee expresses that surrender should take place on a later date, and before that date the Commission via written notice approves for the withdrawal of such intention to surrender. Regulations 24 of the Licensing Regulations 2019 provides that before surrendering of licenses can take place, the licensee must give a 90-day notice to the Commission prior to the written notice of his intention to surrender. He must give a 60-day notice to his subscribers of his intention to surrender and terminate operations. He must give detailed information to the Commission of how he intends to migrate his subscribers to a new licensee, as well as an undertaking guaranteeing refunds to each subscribers for prepaid subscriptions such as unused data or unused airtime. Regulations 51 of the Licensing Regulations 2019 provides grounds on which a license can be revoked or suspended, and they include where the licensee is in breach of the terms and conditions of the individual license, or in breach of the provisions of the Act or any other regulation issued by the Act or the Commission. Section 45 of the Act provides for grounds on which revocation or suspension of a license could take place, and they include where the commission feels that it's in the interest of the public to revoke or suspend such license, they will go ahead to revoke or suspend it. Where the licensee has been unable to pay his debt, has entered into receivership or liquidation, is unable to comply with the provisions of the Act, or even pay up fines imposed on it by the commission or the Act, then its license will be revoked or suspended. Section 45 sub 2 provides that an individual license can only be revoked or suspended after the commission has given a written notice, or rather has communicated to the licensee of the breach which the licensee committed and demanded that such breach be remedied or rectified within 60 days. In event of the licensee failing to comply or failing to rectify such breach within 60 days, the commission can go ahead to revoke or suspend the license of such licensee. Regulations 52 of the Licensing Regulations 2019 provides that before revocation or suspension of individual license can take place, the commission shall communicate to the licensee the reason for the intended suspension or revocation, as well as the date on which the intended suspension or revocation is to take effect. Section 46 of the Act provides that in event of suspension, the commission shall communicate to the licensee the duration of the suspension and the penalties involved. Equally, Regulations 54 of the Licensing Regulations 2019 states that where the licensee has failed to remedy the breach as stated in Regulations 52 of the Licensing Regulations 2019 within the period given to him, that is 60 days, that the commission shall not later than 7 days after the expiration of that period go ahead to suspend the license of such licensee for a period not exceeding 3 months, or revoke the license of such licensee in accordance with the provisions of the Act. This goes to show that obtaining a valid license to carry out telecommunications business in Nigeria is very important. Carrying out such business without a license is illegal and makes the person prone to various punishments under the law. Also, where you acquire a license to carry out telecommunications business, you could decide to surrender your license through certain procedures as stated by the Act, or if you are in breach of any provisions of the Act, the commission could go ahead to revoke or suspend your license still following procedures as laid down in the Act. For more of this, visit our website at www.harlemsolicitors.com or our social media pages on YouTube and LinkedIn at Harlem Solicitors. Thank you very much.